Good afternoon, everyone. This is StoicDan in Orlando. I'm at a park in southeast Orlando, and it's time for a live stream. I want to highlight today the interesting topic that Orlando Stoics is covering on Sundays now. It's called Philosophy of Mind. How does the mind work? How does it receive information? How does it process and store information? There's a lot to learn about our own minds, even though we use them every day. It's interesting that we don't know enough about how they actually work. And so, Philosophy of Mind as a series, if you want to tune in, it's every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. It's free. You can find the event on Meetup under Orlando Stoics on Meetup. And here's the topic we covered just yesterday. We talked about the brain and its structure. How does it store information? Now, of course, there are a lot of people who are working on this topic today. One of them is the American scientist and entrepreneur Jeff Hawkins. And his team has developed this idea of the cortical column. The cortical column is how the brain stores information. For example, if I were sitting at a table and someone came to the table and brought me a coffee cup or a cup of some kind, my brain would notice through my perceptions that the coffee cup has a certain cylindrical shape to it. It's round at the top, it's open at the top, it has a handle maybe, it may be tapered or straight. All these aspects are stored in the cortical column. And that's like, for me, I think of it as like a filing cabinet. You put everything on one project in a filing cabinet, so it's where you can find it, or on a computer, a file folder. But anyway, the interesting thing about the cortical column is this structure in the brain is used also to store abstract ideas. So it's not just concrete examples or materials in front of us. And the cool part is that when the brain stores information in this way, the next time it encounters a coffee cup or a similar situation, it has all the knowledge right there in one place so that it can make sense of the situation with the latest information it has gathered. And so the next thing that they're working on, since I want to give you one more idea besides the cortical column, there's another concept called the binding problem, which is how the brain makes sense of this information in the cortical column instead of just giving you 1,000 different aspects or ideas, which would make you feel like scatterbrained or something, to have an overflow of information. You can then reach a conclusion in every situation. And this is where the brain uses all these bits of information and binds them together and reaches a conclusion so that now you can reach for that coffee cup and take a drink. Otherwise, you might be confused by this abundance of information. So, I'm going to pause here and just enjoy the lake and the park that we're walking around here today. So now you know a little bit more about how your brain operates. Cortical columns And the binding problem, if you want to learn more, just look up Jeff Hawkins, Hawkins. Look him up on the internet and you'll find his group and the research he's done and some articles about it. So that's it for today. Hope you have a good Tuesday. See you tomorrow. This is StoicDan in Orlando.